Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mystic Podcast. This would be 22, I believe.
I
Either
think so.
way, either way, welcome back. Hopefully, but if you're new, check out our other stuff to find out what we're about. But or you can just watch and see what's up. I mean, it's
And if
not
you
that
like us,
difficult.
tell your friends.
Yeah,
You know,
and tell us that you like us.
of course. So,
So,
I guess you go first as usual.
yeah, since if you're new here, we start off by saying like the different media that we've consumed over the week, uh, not including the stuff that we review on a weekly basis or monthly basis.
Because those are in separate videos.
Yeah, which is usually just me, but
No,
anyway,
It's not always just you.
not always, but most of the monthlies are the ones I
Well,
review.
all the monthlies, because we don't review Fairy Tail Zero or Ice Trail.
Yeah, sometimes I talk about it like in a separate video, or I add it on, but not usually. I only did that last time. But yeah, anyway, I usually start for the other media because mine's usually a shorter list, and I don't talk as much.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I talk a lot, but I'm also usually the one who helps jumpstart the second part of the podcast, which is general discussion about random shit.
yeah, we got a couple things to talk about.
So just start it right off.
So, let's see.
Video games.
In terms of, I'm gonna start with anime,
Okay.
and I made the executive decision and dropped Prince of Tennis, and I started um, Blue Exorcist or Alano Exorcist, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty good so far. I'm about halfway through the series, the anime,
How
of
long is
course.
it?
25 episodes.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's not long at all. Main
Is the
characters are
okay?
played by Bryce Papenbrook and Johnny Young Bosch, so good English cast.
Well, I don't know the one guy, but I know Johnny.
Well, Bryce Papenbrook. Did you ever watch Sword Art Online's English dub, the first one?
Of course I did.
He played Kirito.
Okay.
So yeah, he plays the main character in Attack on Titan's dub too, but not that you would care about that. But
I thought the main character was Captain Levi.
no,
Okay.
no, the main character, his name is Eren Yeager.
Oh, I just from what
No,
I've seen online, it seemed like Levi was the main character.
no, he's the most popular, but that's because he's Levi. But that's a whole nother
Okay.
discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Blue Exorcist is pretty good so far. It's interesting, I think. It's like it takes certain like elements from Christianity and takes some from like Shinto and like Buddhism and shit. It's weird.
It's not
So,
something you usually are into.
well, I mean, I tend to stay away from religious stuff because I tend to not like to hear people say stupid things about religion that I happen to know a decent amount about, which is the one I believe in, which is Christianity. So, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like they don't go out of their way to slander it, so I'm cool with that.
Uh huh.
Um, so I mean, it's interesting. It's alright. I think that's it in terms of anime, I guess.
Other than
The
other than
usuals.
the usual stuff.
Yeah, the usuals I watch every week. So there's that. Games. I'm playing one right now, and that is Demon Souls. Um,
Demon Souls.
it's the first Souls game.
Yeah, I know.
Great game.
I think I forget which one AZX had me borrow.
Demon Souls.
He did?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Yeah, he was like, he keeps begging me to play it with you. I'm like, I'm not really that interested in playing it.
It's
I know it's a
awesome.
good game. I'm just, no, for some reason I just, because right now I'm still trying to, like, I'm trying to not get too deep into a lot of stuff. Like, because I'm still,
Yeah,
I'm still playing a decent amount of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I'm watching stuff here and there, which I'll talk about later. And of
yeah.
course, my usual weekly stuff that I read and watch
Hmm.
on top of trying to continue to write. And if I add on another game that I'm going to be into a lot, it'll just,
And
cause a
you're
lot
working
much.
a lot too, so
Yeah, business is picking up, so
yeah. Yeah, me, I
so
only work 1 day a week and I go to school twice a week. It's not that big of a deal for me to do a lot of shit.
well,
So,
yeah, but at the same time, you know, this isn't your first time going through Demon Souls either.
no,
Also,
which is why I can play this while recording the podcast. Otherwise, I would be like, nope, can't play this while talking. Gotta concentrate.
yeah, produce a very hilarious Renegade for Life video. But no, sorry, that was a Dark Souls 2 that he did.
Oh yeah.
But it was still funny. Yeah. But
Um,
anyway, what else? Anything else video game wise for you
oh yeah, of course.
besides your usual?
Still playing Awakening. I think I'm on chapter 18 or 19, something like that. I let me see. I'll tell you what my team is so far. It's obviously Crom and the main character. Um,
No, Crom's the main character. Your avatar character is the secondary main character,
whatever. So
technically,
the two main characters,
because you have to.
and um, let's see. There's Sumia, who ended up being the the wife, and
Uh-huh.
she's freaking amazing. Uh, Vake and Lanku, who I used to pair up, and it's that combination is broken. Uh, Gaius, who is potentially my favorite character at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I use Sayri. Is that her name? The Swordmaster girl. Uh,
Okay.
I can't remember her name exactly, but I use her even though she's not as good as Lanku. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, who else?
I can't
Lucina, of
remember.
course. Lucina's too good,
The children in Awakening are broken.
I'm sure.
They're all broken, especially if you pair the right couples up.
Uh-huh. Well, Sumia and Crom makes a broken Lucina, I can tell you that much.
Well, yeah, I don't
Because,
remember all the best pairings. All I remember was the one that I ended up with in my first playthrough, which was he ended up marrying. I think it was Sully. Is like one of the worst ones.
Sully, I dropped Sully really quickly. She was awful compared to like some of the others. I think I used a couple more.
Well, that was because hold on, well, I didn't immediately drop Sully, and it just so happened that when I got to I think it was chapter 11. By the end of that, I think she had the highest support with him, so they automatically
uh,
married.
Gotcha. Yeah, I purposely had Sumia have the highest support with him.
It's actually usually I don't read the support conversations, but in this one I actually very much enjoyed the support conversations.
Yeah, they're okay in this one. The
Especially,
My favorite so far is though Gaius and the created character. Too funny because there was a reference to Taken in there. I have the
yeah.
picture, and if I'm diligent in my editing, about 10 minutes in. If I'm diligent in my editing, I'm going to put up the picture because I have it on my phone, and I sent it to AZX. He's like, if it's ransom you want, I can tell you I don't have much. I don't have money, but what I do have is a particular set of sweet honey cakes or something like that.
So, yeah, but
Awakening's pretty good so far. In my opinion, far from the best, but
you haven't completed the game yet, so you can't have your full opinion.
correct.
It could get worse for you from here on out, or it could get better from here on out for you.
Yeah.
So, we'll just have to wait and see. So, anything else video game wise?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Relax.
Well, you stopped talking for more than 10 seconds.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well, only. Okay, I stopped talking for less than 10 seconds when you weren't talking. How about that?
Whatever.
Um, so the usual, as usual. Oh, I started up Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. That game is decent so far, but they give you the fucking runaround, as all Elder Scrolls games do. But I was having so much trouble finding my way. I don't know if it's just because I'm awful at directions in open world RPGs, but I I just could not find this one place, and so I started fucking around, like trying to kill random people in the streets, and I found I found where I was supposed to go by accident.
Well, that's usually how things happen.
I'm like, really, really. I tried to record it to put up as my new gameplay, and it it oh my gosh, it came out awful. Like it was like flashing and oh gosh, it did
It
not
was
look
just
good.
bad.
And so yeah, it was. I couldn't record it anymore. Well, I could have, but not that it would have done anything for you guys. So sorry guys for you, those of you who watch my gameplays on my Where Tiger X channel, which are like all two of you.
I'm sure you get more than 2 views,
For Swing Away Golf, I got more than 2 views per video somehow.
which I don't know. People like their golf, I guess.
If you guys watch my channel update video, I'm like, do you guys want me to continue sports? If so, I will fucking do it. Because if it's getting views, man.
Mhm. But
Did you
anyway,
did you see that video?
no, I don't think I did.
I talked about the other. Oh, I'll get there. The movie that I watched this week.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Games. Was that it for games? I think. I mean, other than the
You
usual.
sure? Because you seem to have lots to talk about this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Other than the usual. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in kind of a game mood this week. So,
Sounds like it.
in terms of TV, obviously Game of Thrones came back, and for those of you who have watched episode 1 review, or just know in general, the first 4 episodes got leaked, which is a major, major money loss for HBO, I would assume.
Mhm.
I heard the first 5 got leaked, but I have not been able to confirm that. So,
Well, I'm assuming the episodes were taken down
uh, I
after
don't,
the leak.
I don't know. I have to look, but I do know, like, I got there really quickly, and I only saw 4, so we'll see. So I've been watching, obviously, that, and in terms of movies, I saw Gasland, which was basically about fracking. Do you know what fracking is?
Yes, I do.
For those of you who don't know, it's when they drill into the earth and basically force water and a bunch of chemicals into the ground in order to extract a lot of natural gas. It's not good. Well, it is efficient, but it's not good for the water supplies and the environment in general. So that was the major issue with.
Yep. And
Uh,
if it's near your town, your faucets will catch on fire.
yeah, you can literally light your faucets on fire, which is crazy to think about. But
Hey, some people get a kick out of that.
well, they did that a lot in the movie Gasland, which was kind of amusing. The movie itself was pretty good. I kind of liked. I felt like. I felt like the guy who produced it. It was pretty much an independent film.
Well, it sounds more like a documentary than
It was.
like an informative documentary
It
instead of
was.
like a movie. I don't con- I don't consider. I mean, documentaries are still movies, but if it's a documentary, I won't call it a movie. I'll call it a documentary.
Like it was. It was a documentary, but at the same time, there was a lot of footage involved. Not just like then he goes into the toilet and takes a massive shit.
And he decides to light a cigarette, and because the fracking causes gas to get into the water line, he burnt his butthole out.
Hmm.
Something like that.
And somehow it got word to Japan, and Mitsutoshi put it in Toriko.
Hey, don't put the arc's not over yet.
No. Um, yeah,
Anyway,
there's a lot of footage like where he would go up to people's houses and interview them, and they would show the like all this different stuff, like the contaminated water, the faucets being lit, shit like that. So it was a decent movie, but I couldn't watch the whole thing. It was too long. It was an hour 40 minutes, and it started to get repetitive after the first 40, and so I could only make it up to hour 15, and then I skipped to the last 5 minutes to see what he had to say at the very end.
mm-hmm.
So that was a decent movie. So
Mm-hmm.
um, is that it? Probably. Um, I don't know if I played any other games. I can't. I'm pretty sure.
Or saw any other movies, or
I know I didn't see any other movies. I know I didn't watch any other shows or animes.
mm-hmm.
I did
So,
watch the first episode of Tokyo Ghoul season 2, even though I said I wouldn't, and it was fine, but I don't really care too much. So I guess that's about it for me.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So let's see. In terms of gamings, it was pretty much the usual. The same things as last week. Still play my One Piece Treasure Cruise on my phone. As for Dragon Ball Universe, at least in the North American territories, we got the second DLC pack, which had the second half of the GT storyline, and so it was. So I've been playing that, and it was enjoyable.
Nice.
So, well, yeah, got some extra characters like um, we got Ice and Nova Shenron,
Hmm.
as well as the two game exclusive villains Toa and Mira.
Nice.
And in terms of like the storyline is it continued from the first DLC pack, which is basically like these wormholes were popping up that were sucking away these villains. And then, the first one, DLC pack, had you face off against Grade 8 Baby and Super 17. In this one, you started out by facing off against the three Shadow Dragons, and then it sucked up you, Gogeta, and Omega Shenron, and then when it spit you guys back out, it was you and Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Grade 8 Baby, Super 17, and Omega Shenron.
Hmm.
Which was surprisingly difficult since, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would mop the floor with all of them.
Yeah.
But the AI sucks. Like, it is very, like, it's at almost ridiculous levels of stupidity. Because, I mean, for instance, whenever your support character has any if they have any transformations, they never use them, or they very very rarely ever use their ultimates, if at all.
Hmm.
So it's like this feels, but whatever. It's still as fun. Even despite that, it's still as fun as ever. And I'm super happy because I finally finished, Yamcha's shitty training and got, because the only move of his that I really wanted, or there were two moves that I wanted from him, but only one that I'll actually use, and then the two was his ultimate, the Spirit Ball, which is which they made which isn't that good, which is surprise. Like it's even worse than it was in previous games. But the other one was his Wolfang Fist, which they turned into like a combo instead of just like
Uh-huh.
one attack. But it's whatever. And have now started training with Beerus. So, and let's see what's another. Let's see what else have I played. Like I said, the usual One Piece Treasure Cruise. From playing, the Pokemon Rumble World on my 3DS. Casually. It's a free game, so it's just like anything else. There's a lot of waiting involved for things to recharge.
Uh-huh.
So, in terms of anime, um, um, my One Piece Voyage Season 6 Voyage 3 and 4 came in this week, and so I was able to watch the Voyage 4 and see how the English dub of the final few episodes of the Thriller Bark went, and loved
Cool.
it. Especially the whole thing with, Zoro, the encounter between Kuma and Zoro,
Ah.
and, Brooke's backstory,
Mm-hmm.
which seems it's not that complicated. However, it's just totally fucked up when
Oh,
you
yeah.
think about it. Like, people are saying that there's that Law's backstory is worse, and in certain aspects it does seem like it. But in the end, I still think Brooks is the worst like the most messed up backstory. Just because of that whole fact that he, spent 50 years alone on that, thing, talking on the boat, switching between talking to himself and talking to his friend's the bones of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then, like, occasionally, daydream, like falling asleep and then having a dream where his friends are alive, and then he wakes, and then he starts sleepwalking, and then he slips and falls and realizes he was just dreaming.
Right.
So it's sad.
Yeah.
And so, but some important news that should have been mentioned to you guys a long time, 2 months ago, but apparently I never got the memo. Funimation decided to make the announcement very quietly, and announced that this summer we will be getting. They've already licensed season 7 and will be coming out this summer, or
Mm-hmm.
supposedly coming out starting this summer. And lo and behold, it'll have in total 72 episodes spread across 6 volumes.
Wow.
Which, for those of you who, just as a reference, that's everything from the first episode is going to be, reaching the red line, and then ends off just before they do those 2 episodes that are retrospectives before the war.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first episode, like the retrospective episodes, would be like the beginning of the next season.
Right.
So that's Shabby, Amazon Lily, and Impel Down, which is a lot of, for those of you who have seen have read who read the manga or watched the anime through those arcs, that there is a lot of content in those episodes, as well as a lot of new characters that are going to have to be voiced,
Mm-hmm.
including but not limited to the other 9 supernovas, and their crewmates, a bunch of important Marines, as well as the people on Amazon Lily, and a lot of, and the majority of Impel Down,
Hmm.
like, is mostly filled with new characters, with only a few returning characters. So a lot of new voice actors are going to be getting that call. We need you for One Piece. The call every voice actor seems to be waiting for nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to be like the same thing with like the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and the DC cinematic movies. Like, this whole superhero thing is how, like, everybody wants to be in a superhero movie, and all the voice actors seemingly wants to be in One Piece.
Hmm.
Not because it's huge and there's so many characters that it's possible for, like, all of the best voice actors to get in at some point, whether it be a minor or major character. So that's a thing. So that's a thing. In terms of television, what I've watched this week is, my usual. Um, I've been rewatching on Hulu a Nickelodeon classic, in my mind, that came out as a part of the fallout from the Nickelodeon Renaissance in the early 2000s, Danny Phantom,
Ah,
which was, you know, created by the great Butch Hartman, who's the mind behind the Fairly Odd Parents, and I believe Butch Hartman's that guy who voices Cosmo, I think, as
maybe.
well, I think, yeah, as well as plays a bunch of various characters in the various Nickelodeon live-action TV shows.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, um, and um, another thing that I mean, like I said, I've been watching the usual stuff, and one of the things of note that happened this week was in this week's episode of Agents of Shield, Marvel's Agents of Shield, where one of the main character, for those of you who watch it, one of the characters, May, who's been portrayed to be in certain ways be very similar to, like, Black Widow, where she's like that, one woman army type of thing, and, kind of showing some, like, pretty, like, it showed her, like, because it seems like a lot of these serious agents have, like, something that happened in their career that, like, changed them from, like, a upbeat positive person to, like, dull and like a gloomy, super serious kind of person. And, so it was very it was very dark and fucked up. I mean, basically what happened was she was tasked, um, with, because Shield has this. For those of you who don't know, Shield has this thing called the Index, where they basically keep, which is basically where they put all their the information about all the powered humans or powered beings, and, they wanted to take this one girl in with powers so they can get her information on the Index, and, see if she's a threat or not and whatnot. And prior to this, you see, because this also was back at a time before she got divorced from her husband. At the time, she was planning. They were doing that whole family planning thing, to try and have a kid. So she goes to the mission, and all these guys get taken out, or they encounter him, and then this powered being chick and all of her and her, like, these guys that seemed like gangster guys that were with her, capture this girl and, hold her hostage in a build. I love this little girl and hold her hostage in the building. and you know this, and she goes, she's forced when they send in all their men, the Shield member team that they had with them, and they were taken out, and the only ones left were Agent Coulson and May, and so she has to go in, and this not only changed her personality, but this is also the story that supposedly gave her the nickname the Cavalry, where she single-handedly take down all these guys to infiltrate and rescue everybody. But then when you find out is that this powered person is controlling them, so she has to take out, the powered person, because she's now a threat, and so they have to take her out. But then after she takes her out, and in a brutal fight, because this person has enhanced strength, so she's like barely able to. She can't even walk because and she's like trying to comfort the little girl, and get her out of there because she just rescued her. But then you find out that this little girl is actually also powered and is the daughter of the powered lady she just killed, and she tries to take control of May, and she's forced to do the unthinkable and murder this little girl, which scars her for the rest of her life. So that's the very dark and twisted thing that happened to her that changed her from an optimistic person and who wanted to be a mother to someone who couldn't, could no longer think of herself as a mother because she had to do something like that to a little girl, and become very serious and closed off. And it also caused her to leave the field for a while until till the modern day when at the beginning of the series. So I thought that was, and in the preview, even though the movie hasn't come out yet, they've already started, in this week's preview for next week's episode, they're already talking about how we're getting close to the, because as you all know, even though the events of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. don't affect the movies affect the show because the show there's in the shared universe. So they're already talking about, obviously other than hyping up what's already happening, they're talking about, how this is all this crazy stuff's happening in the show, but it's only going to get even crazier after, Age of Ultron happens. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see that from their perspective, especially since Age of Ultron's looking to be boss as all hell. Can't wait. Summer movie season. And so, let me see, what else? That was it for TV shows. In terms of movies, it wasn't really much. I mean, just sitting around, flipping through the channels, we, as a family, we randomly watched the other day Home Alone 3. It was on TV, and randomly today we were watching Home Alone 2. I don't know why they're on TV right now. It's not even Christmas. It's April.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the holiday season, and it's not, sometimes they'll play Christmas movies in July because it's Christmas, the whole Christmas in July thing, but it's not July, it's April.
Mm-hmm.
So that felt kind of random that it was on and that we sat there and watched those. Trying to think, was there anything else? No, not really. I mean, in terms of writing, nothing was posted this week, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any writing done. So.
Well, at least I know you read a couple of my chapters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The final chapter of part 1 of Tale of Iron came out this week. Mm-hmm. And a new chapter, finally, of Detective Shin.
2 chapters.
Yeah, well, he posted... Strider decided to post the new one, another one, 15 minutes before we started recording this, so I didn't have time to read it.
Yeah, maybe you can live reaction right now. I'm just kidding.
No.
You can do that afterwards. You can do a
Nah.
private live reaction.
Yeah, with myself.
Okay.
No. But anyway, so now the and let's see what other random bullshit can I complain about this week to start us off on like some random tangent. Oh yeah, Amazon being dicks with their friggin', you know, that them and the United States Postal Service, they suck when it comes to working together. Them
Yeah.
two, because one of the reasons why, for those of you who have been here, I wasn't able to get any zero writing done this week, as well as posting, on top of the fact, and wasn't able to watch this week's episode of Naruto in time to review it for this week, was because my computer cord broke. So I couldn't charge my computer, so it ran out of power, and I ordered. It broke on Monday night, and I immediately ordered one for Amazon, and it said, it gave me my dates between Wednesday the 15th till Friday the 17th. Okay. And it's being, a real, and it's being delivered by instead of UPS, it's the United States Postal Service,
Hmm.
which not only are they slow, but with delivering, but they don't update their shit as often as, UPS does
Yeah.
when it comes to Amazon packaging. Like it's only it's only been updated. There's only two things on the package tracking. And the first one was from Monday when the packet it's saying package was received by the carrier in friggin' Prescott, Arizona.
That's
And
still
then,
the latest thing?
well, no, 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 no. Then the next day, Tuesday, it said package arrived at carrier's facility in Phoenix. That was
Hmm.
2 days ago, and hasn't been up. And they haven't updated it to show what happened to it on Wednesday and today.
That's pretty unusual, even for USPS.
And but it says, oh, should arrive by tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, this is the United States Postal Service, not UPS. It's not going to get delivered. If it doesn't get delivered with my regular mail tomorrow, I'm not going to get it until the following day.
Yeah.
So, which is still annoying because there's no guarantee, because, if anybody who gets mail should know, it's never, you're on the route, you have your mail carrier who has a certain route, and that route includes your house, and they don't always do this, start and they don't always get to your house at the same time every day. It's,
Right.
it varies in a certain range, and so most likely, of course, knowing my luck, it'll arrive after I leave for work tomorrow,
Yeah.
or close to when I have to leave, where I won't be able to do anything with it.
Well, at the very least, you could charge up
Sure.
your
Yeah, I
computer
can try
while
to put on
you're
a
gone.
computer. Yeah, but I would have liked to, be able to use it to go,
I know.
So, but anyway, so yeah, it was just sucks,
Yeah.
So
I know. Charger issues are the worst.
yeah, so and let's see what is um let's see what else can we talk about. We should talk about well, as many of you should know, like I said earlier, Age of Ultron is not the only film that I'm looking forward to this summer. There's, I think I counted. What was it? We get my brother. He gets the Entertainment Weekly magazine, and they just this week came out with or late last week, early this week came out with he got their summer movie preview,
Hmm.
which has talks about a bunch of the movies that are coming out, and based off of all the movies I currently know that are coming out this summer, I think I counted like 10 movies that I want to see. Some and maybe a few others that I might eventually see when it comes out on DVD or if it gets on Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 that I actually feel like I want to actually go to the theater and see. One of which, of course, includes Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah.
Another one is Ant-Man,
Uh-huh. Of course.
uh, Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know it's a kids movie, but the Disney Pixar movie Inside Out looks good.
I'd have to see a trailer for it to decide. I don't know.
No, it's kind of it's. I mean, the basic idea of it is that you know the characters like there's like two sets of characters. I could say there's the human the human characters and then the other characters where that the movie's more so good um like have you ever seen or heard of Osmosis Jones?
Yes.
It's similar to that, but instead of the cells being the characters, it's the emotions in the people's heads.
Oh, yeah, okay. That
And
actually didn't seem too bad.
it looks pretty decent. Another one is Ted 2.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I, lo- I love the first one, and the second one is just a riot. I mean, if you didn't want to like, there are so many things. Like my two favorite like TV spots I've seen for it is the one is a scene where it's like a TV shot where it shows this clip from where they are Amanda Seyfried, I think is whatever her name is, Amanda something or other,
Uh-huh.
is is their lawyer because he's trying to wants to have a child, but they're like, oh well, you can't have a child, and the whole thing plot is him trying to prove that he's real and can have a child enough to have a child and respond. Anyway, and so they're like, she goes tries explains say, oh well, let's do some test questions to see how you'll handle a court. And there's just some back and forth between Mark Wahlberg and Ted, and it's hilarious. They're like, they just like they say a bunch of courtroom mumbo jumbo that they probably don't even know what it really means or how to properly use it, and then they're like, oh yeah, we can totally be good lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was the Super Bowl commercial where they try to get
Yes.
sperm from Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady. That was so fucking funny. I was dying when I saw that shit. I was sick and I was sick as hell, but I was dying laughing at that just because it was Tom Brady. And I know Seth MacFarlane loves Tom Brady.
Well, of course. So, which is probably why, and what's even fun, I think the thing that makes it even funnier is the fact that Tom Brady agreed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just said Tom Brady and not shown his face or anything, but no, he actually is there. It's
Right.
not just them talking about Tom Brady and talking about trying to get like them doing it. Actually, he's actually there. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool on his part for doing it.
Yeah.
And of course, a date hasn't been announced yet, but it's supposed to come out over the summer. Is the English dubbed release of Revival of Frieza?
Right.
It's supposed to come into theaters over the summer, so I definitely want to see that.
It'd be nice if it actually came to like some coherent theaters around here. Well, I know it came out near you guys, right? Because you saw or Battle Gods.
Battle Gods. Yeah. Which reminds me, I forgot to mention that when I was looking today to see if or later, like about maybe like an hour or so ago, when I was trying to see, I was checking it on like Manga Stream again to see if a Bleach chapter was to magically appear, and
no, it's on break.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think it was on the 13th, which I think was Monday. I think.
I think so.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
They had Manga Stream was able to put out the translation of the second chapter of the 3 chapters, Revival of Frieza special manga one shot.
Oh yeah, I read that. I think yesterday. No, I think I read that on Monday. Yeah.
And the thing now, of course, it focuses on the training of Goku and Vegeta with Whis. But the thing that I found most interesting, and almost seems like maybe Akira Toriyama's giving some props to Mr. Toshi, the whole thing about having your cells
Uh-huh.
respond independently.
Yep.
Sounds exactly. I was like, is he trying to teach these guys Embu? I'm like, really? Is he teaching them Embu?
I mean, they Battle of the Gods had a concept from Bleach, so
So yeah, it's maybe that's Akira Toriyama, trying to promote other series
he's
by
like, all
putting
right,
some.
you guys all ripped off me. I'm gonna rip off you guys now. So
Yep. Vice versa. So, so I thought that was very entertaining.
yeah,
So,
yeah. The chapter actually was actually decent. I mean,
yeah.
I kind of enjoyed the chapter in general.
And of course, it also showed the beginning scene of Frieza's invasion,
Oh
where
yeah,
you have it basically explains why certain characters aren't going to be there, and by extension in the movie, as well as set up who's going to actually be there. Like for some random reason, Master Roshi's there, but I'm just excited. I just love how he wrote Master Roshi into the movie as someone who's going to be taking out some Frieza soldiers.
yeah.
Like, you do realize how shitty those Frieza soldiers have to be for Master Roshi to take them out. Like,
Hmm.
no offense, but Master Roshi is weak in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, yeah, he's weaker than Raditz, so go figure.
So the fact that Frieza actually has soldiers that Roshi can take out is just hilarious to me. And apparently, also in a video I saw this week, from somebody who saw the movie, we actually got an explanation as to why Gohan is wearing the friggin' jumpsuit, and that is apparently he, when Frieza attacked, he was rushing out, so he didn't have enough time to go all the way back home because he was out, I guess. He didn't have enough time to go out and go back home and get his fighting outfit. So since he was wearing, I guess, his geeky shit, he decided to pick something more. He wanted to get into something more comfortable that's a little easier to fight in, and he just picked the first thing he could find, and that was it apparently.
Oh boy.
And then there's the whole thing that is also stated in this chapter of Revival of F that Gohan's not even sure if he could go 100% sure if he can even go Super Saiyan anymore
Hmm.
after not training for so long. That
Yeah.
just seriously pissed at me off. I'm like,
He
it's one
shouldn't.
thing,
He shouldn't be able to
yeah,
go Super Saiyan anyway.
yeah, but it's like the fact that he's not even sure of it is like, I know he can, but it's just like the fact that he's unsure. He's like, yeah, of course I can go Super Saiyan. I think
I
it's
mean,
like,
did we completely forget about Chow Gohan? Like really?
yeah, well, that's one thing, but like I don't think Super Saiyan like you should be like I feel like once you go Super Saiyan, it's just you can't lose it no matter how much you don't train.
Well,
It's just that
he shouldn't be able to go Super Saiyan regardless because of what happened in the Buu saga. Remember?
well, yeah,
Basically,
the
yeah.
Mystic form.
Cho Gohan is him trying to go Super Saiyan. He shouldn't be able to actually turn into a Super Saiyan.
Well, yeah, but that is like, but then he without training, it's believed he's lost that power up. So then,
He lost the potential that was drawn out of him. The,
I
after the
well
potential was drawn out of him
a
in
second
the
like
Namek
the third
saga.
yeah if which means Super Kami Guru is isn't as good as he thought he is at drawing out latent power.
No.
Because if he was able to draw out Gohan's latent power, truly draw his latent power, that means he would have had Mystic Gohan's powers back in the Namek saga and would have wiped the floor with Frieza.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, so yeah, there's that.
Of course, we have the Star Wars thing to talk about. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, well, I'm gonna save that for the end.
Okay.
The other, there, so trying to think, is there anything else before we go on to the 2 trailers that came out this week? Well, there was a couple in terms of trailers this week. There was a few teaser trailers that came out. There's the Batman vs Superman teaser trailer for the trailer, the first trailer
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to come out on Monday, I believe, April 20th, right? I believe is what it said.
I don't know.
Or no, sorry, 22nd, 22nd, I think. I don't know. Well, the point is next week they're supposed to be coming out with the first trailer. Also, a new Ant-Man trailer dropped this week. Very good. I've just gotten me even more hyped for the movie, you know, because it showcased a little more. It showcased the villain. Well, we got our first look at the villain in his outfit and the confrontation. Some of the confrontation.
Who is the villain?
Yellow Jacket.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured.
And it's just, I think, and you also got a glimpse at how, because they say Ant-Man is supposed to have a lot more has a decent amount of comedy in it, and they showcase some of that, what some of the comedy is going to come from, and that's the fact that they showed you this intense fight between Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket, and then they pan out to show you that because they're shrunk, they're fighting in like a little kid's room or something, throwing around toy trains and cars and shit. But when you zoom in on them, it looks like some like big action scene. Things are blowing up, and you're like, oh my god! But then you're like, wait, those aren't real cars and trains; they're toys. So there's some
That's good. I was never interested in Ant-Man, but I'm hoping the movie's good.
Yeah, the movie looks like it's going to be good. Hopefully, I mean, Ant-Man is one of the more requested characters that people wanted.
I don't know why, but
at the same time, his concept is very hard to sell for Marvel. So it'll be very interesting to see how the final product turns out.
Yeah.
Let me see what else.
I mean, I already mentioned the League for Game of Thrones, so I don't really need to cover that again.
No, there was our first teaser trailer for the Boruto the movie.
Oh yeah.
Great, honestly, there is only one important thing that really needs to be discussed that we didn't already know.
Sasuke Sensei.
Sasuke is going to be Boruto's sensei. Like, plain and simple. And it looks like the movie is going to focus. Movie's plot is seemingly going to focus on possibly the Chunin exams.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see that dynamic, because if it's assuming since if Sasuke is Boruto's sensei, who is his other teammates?
Well, it seems that it's probably gonna be Salada or whatever the fuck they're gonna have the official name be, but
it's Sarada. But I think in the English, when it's in the English, when in the chapter, I think it's, I don't know, it's weird.
I need to look at the Viz, because the Viz of the manga is going to be the correct one for English.
Or the official one that they're going to use.
That's the Viz.
Yeah, because
it should be out by now.
Well, yeah, I would assume so, but I believe the scanlations were saying calling her Salad
and Bolt, because there's a lot of different reasons why Bolt seemed correct and why Salada seemed correct as well. I don't know.
Yeah, Salada. So, but it's assumed that she's going to be on his team, and then the question is, well, who's going to be the third person?
I don't know.
Someone we haven't seen yet?
Probably not. Probably one of the kids.
Well, I mean, it's going to be one of the kids, but one of the kids we haven't seen yet,
maybe Sai and Ino's kid.
No, because Ina Chikasho.
Yeah,
they have to always be together.
True.
So
Kiba. I don't know.
Kiba's child, maybe.
That'd be interesting.
Or
or the second kid from Naruto and Hinata, but I think that's older, right?
No,
She's younger.
she's younger. She's the
Yeah,
no, she wouldn't be on the same team.
unless she was an
Um,
absolute prodigy.
mm-hmm. Or there's also the other another possibility could be what was it? Um, uh, what's his name? Oh my God, why am I always? I hate when this happens when I'm blank. I had it. Oh, Lee and Tenten's son.
Presumably Lee and Tenten's son, yeah.
Possible. Who
Yeah,
knows? There's tons. It's going to be important because they're the main characters. So
I can see it being Lee's son. That does sort of make sense. I don't know.
but it's definitely the thing that people are most. There are two things that people are. The fact that Sasuke is Boruto's sensei, with most likely Sarada being on the team as well, it produces two very interesting things that people want to see. One, this means that we'll finally get to see some father-daughter dynamic, and how
Maybe.
well, I mean, if he's the sensei of Boruto's team and she's on the team, obviously you're going to see some dynamic.
Or
Lack
Sasuke
or
or
the lack
Sasuke being an
Sas
asshole.
and well, whether you're going to see what type of how they
Yeah.
interact with each other.
Yeah. That's
One
better.
interesting thing, one interesting thing that people are interested to see is what is, maybe just maybe Sasuke and his visual prowess will help Bolt unlock his Byakugan, if it's even possible in him, even no, since he's a half Hyuga.
Mhm.
So, and he doesn't have the Hyuga eyes, the weird eyes they have
Right.
that look like they have friggin' cataracts.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I mean the teaser was decent. I mean there wasn't
it,
much to it, but
well, that's why it's a teaser.
that's why it's a dick teaser. But
But just the fact that it's basically been outright revealed that Sasuke is going to be an important character to the movie, at least in the sense because he's a sensei.
I
Which a
laughed
lot
when
of
I saw that.
I was like, a lot of people. No, the main reason why a lot of people are happy about that is because of the fact that Sasuke was like in the Naruto the last, like I think for like a total of like 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah, I heard he wasn't in it much.
So they're like, oh, we want Sasuke-kun. So
Yeah, I never
and
watched
all.
the raw of that. I'm
Well, I
just
didn't
gonna
watch
wait.
the raw of it. I didn't watch the raw of it either,
Yeah,
or anything. I haven't seen it at all yet. I'm just saying from what people have been saying
I know.
about the fact. Of course, it'll also be good to see some interaction between Sasuke and his his baby mama,
Yeah,
like, cause that was like,
between
cause
the
but
interaction between Madara and his baby mama.
he didn't have a baby mama.
I'm just just saying because now he looks like Izuna Madara. Remember how
Yeah,
that was the big joke is now Sasuke is Madara now.
and since Gray has become from Fairy Tales becomes not Sasuke, does that mean that by the end of the series Gray will become Madara as well?
That would be acceptable.
In terms of look.
Yeah, that would be kind of sick.
All right. Well, anyway, so but yeah, that has got that little teaser got the internet a buzz.
Hmm.
But if you want to really talk about a trailer that got the internet buzzing, Star Wars Episode 7 came out with a new trailer this week.
Yes.
In fact, this day.
Hmm.
Oh, shoot, I forgot to talk about the other major trailer that came out this week. A second trailer for Terminator Genesis.
Oh, really?
Which, actually, this trailer is literally like the reactions to it, based on what I've seen in the comments of the video, has the fans of the series split down the middle. You either loved it, the trailer, or you hated the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
For one important reason, and that is they did something and I agree with the one side that hated it. They did the unthinkable and revealed a major movie plot twist and used, like, they spoiled it as like the main focus of the trailer.
That's retarded.
And and it seems like they're, and what makes it even more unfortunate is that it seems like with that being the case, there's a good chance they might focus on that plot twist in future TV spots and trailers leading up to the release of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you know, in the first trailer, we saw that, as previously stated, we're gonna see you have the old Arnold Terminator who who immediately kills the young Arnold Terminator, and you see this, other Terminator, the metal morph, like the one from the second Terminator.
The T-2000, I think, was something
But
like that.
now it seems like either the one we saw, the T-2000, just for few, it might be wrong, but I'm just going to refer to it as the T-2000.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll know, you guys should know what I'm talking about. The T-2000 that we saw, either there's a third Terminator, another Terminator involved, or this Terminator that we saw in this trailer was only the T-2000 was only a disguise. But the big thing that they showed off was the fact that in this timeline, the new timeline, somehow they turn John Connor into a Terminator.
Oh, fuck.
Somewhat similar to the one from the third one, where it has like a solid metal body, but then has like a metal morphing outside. And so the main villain is John Carter, the guy
gosh.
who's gonna.
That's nuts. And they revealed that shit? Oh my gosh. What dickwads.
Like, not only did they were dickwads for making that the plot of the movie, but they were even more of a dickwads by revealing it in the trailer.
I thought they were going the right way because they picked Emilia Clarke for Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought maybe they were doing the right stuff, but damn. I don't know what they was smoking.
Like, who thought that would be good? Like, obviously we don't know enough details yet since it's only a trailer, but it seems like they somehow in the future got a hold of John Connor and then turned him into a Terminator. And now he went back to the past to kill his own mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that, it could just be something as simple as, the Terminator, took his identity or like disguised himself as him. But the fact that they make it seem like John Connor was taken out in the future and then replaced by a Terminator, and then goes in back to the past to just kill John Connor's mother, which is something that would be an amazing plot twist. It would be pretty deep. I would have thought it would have been a very shocking plot twist, I think. But now it's like, well, everybody knows about it before the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did they think, oh well, people might not want to see it, so let's reveal the big plot twist to get people to go see it. Like, did they like? Really? Did they go get the guys who like wrote the songs for Dora the Explorer and then gave them like friggin' ecstasy, pot, pretty much every drug known to man, and asked them to come up with a plot for the movie? Like, really?
Yeah, I think Speedwagon wrote this fucking trailer. You wouldn't get that one, but
yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, back on to the good trailer, Star Wars.
Yes.
So What did you think of the trailer, Strider?
Well, being a very big Star Wars fan, I thought the trailer was very good for a couple reasons. I obviously all the old cast things were great. First off, the second I started hearing Luke's theme from A New Hope play in the very beginning, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be good because that theme is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, dude, the Star Cruiser being buried in the sand, that was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Um, but the biggest thing that had me, besides, well, the quote was cool, which was the quote from Return of the Jedi with the added, and you have that power too. But the thing that got me the most sort of hype, the only reason that I'm not entirely hype is because I don't know if it's true or not, is we finally got to see the other side of the guy with that weird lightsabers, what what he looks like.
Oh yeah. I, I don't. I missed it. I wasn't exactly. I was so hyped in the trailer, I couldn't tell
It was
exactly.
very quick, but if you pause, which I did, because I was like, wait, hold on a second. His mask, while not entirely the same, looks like Darth Revan, who
Who?
he's basically the main character of Knights of the Old Republic, which I never played before, but to my chagrin. But basically, he was from the Old Republic, and he was both a Jedi and a Sith at different times. But he's a great character, and if they put him in as a villain, it would be really crazy because the thing is they went ahead and said like all the EU, the expanded universe, is non-canon once Disney took bought the rights.
Yeah, but then they could take, but that it's non-canon. But then they can turn around and take characters and
Exactly.
add them in as canon.
But
But
that's the point,
from
is because Revan was from the Old Republic like thousands of years before like episode 1. So for him to be popping up here after episode 6,
which
that's
would be impossible unless they said, "Oh well, that's not canon, but the character
exactly.
is."
Exactly.
So now, one of the things I really liked was the fact that if you the TIE fighter pilots look exactly the same, just
Hmm.
better done. But they look the same, and I'm like, that was they have J.J. Abrams has done his homework, and he has done everything in his power to make it as faithful as possible in terms of, you know, everything that was from the previous movies, from the original trilogy.
Hmm.
Like the look and the feel, and even the music, as you saw from Luke's theme
Oh
being
yes.
played, and the quote. That line's in there because they know that it's a great quote to put in, and it's probably going to be said in the movie, of course, hopefully. And of course, the thing that a lot of people were getting hype of, which is the fact that they threw in Chewie and Han at the end of the trailer,
Uh-huh.
which is the only one we actually get to see. Because I think we briefly see like what looks like to be Luke cloaked up, but you only see his hand,
Hmm. And we
and I
see
think it's
Leia taking the lightsaber, but only her hands.
are you
Presumably
sure?
Leia.
We don't know. So, but I mean, it's April and it's coming out in December. Most
Hmm.
likely, I'm calling it now. The next trailer is probably going to come out for at the San Diego Comic-Con or
Probably.
around that time. Like there'll be like an extended, like a special one for the San Diego Comic-Con that's going to show you a lot, and then they're going to show you shortly after that they're going to come out with the shortened version.
Yeah, most likely.
But the next trailer that comes out around that time is going to showcase, the you're going to see Luke and Leia and any other returning characters, you know,
Oh yeah.
and it's obviously going to be a lot more detailed, and you might even get a better look at the villain to see if he's actually that character or not.
Yeah, like this trailer came out during Star Wars Celebration Week, so they're like saving them for like special occasions. It seems.
So so does that mean they're gonna do another one in the week of are they gonna come out with another one on May 4th?
What, May the 4th be with you? That maybe. Who knows?
But
Maybe one with Revenge of the Fifth. I don't know.
Revenge of Revenge of the Fifth
Mm,
or Return of the Sixth.
hmm
So there's another some surprisingly this week has been heavy Avengers Age of Ultron, which you would think because they had the premiere this week.
Oh.
Because one channel movie channel I subscribed to was showcasing a bunch of had a bunch of like short clips of some interviews with the cast at it said interview at Avengers premiere.
hmm
So and like for instance the first two episodes this Monday and Tuesday's episodes of Jimmy Kimmel had cast on there. Like Monday had um the had six of them, which was Robert Downey Jr.,
hmm
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, Ruffalo, and Johansson,
Yeah.
and they played the most hilarious game of Avengers Family Feud you'll ever see. My favorite, of course, like some of the things they said was funny, but if my favorite was the last question that Jimmy asked them, which was, where would be the worst place to turn into the Hulk? Was the last question, and like there were some funny answers. Like the best one was like, of course, the one that the last answer that was given that was correct was the bedroom.
Of course.
But it wasn't Chris Evans, who wasn't on the team that said, well, the bedroom would be the best place to turn into the Hulk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and some other funny things like when they were interviewing them, apparently they found, Jimmy Kimmel found on DeviantArt some pictures people have been drawing of the Bruce Banner Tony Stark bromance that
Oh
got
God.
pretty dirty, like friggin' like yowie.
hmm
And what was even funnier was that after they showed that, they went to commercial break, and when they came back, you had friggin' Mark Ruffalo sitting on Robert Downey Jr.'s lap, looking into him like his eyes seductively.
Oh my gosh.
And then so it was. I didn't get to see it live. I saw the replay they did on Tuesday,
hmm
and then on Tuesday night I didn't watch it because it was only one. It was that I forgot what the actress's name was, but I believe she was the one who played the other important female agent from Shield agent.
Oh yeah, the girl who played Maria Hill.
I believe so. I believe it was her.
Yeah.
But I just had to see the one with the Avengers, the six of them.
It's
Like,
probably on YouTube because Jimmy posts all his shit on
oh
YouTube.
yeah, like the one joke they made was when they were that Johansson made a joke about doing her own motorcycle stunts when they were talking about when Jimmy Kimmel asked about the challenges of shooting Age of Ultron while pregnant,
Uh,
because she was pregnant during the shooting.
right.
So it's like, oh, how did it feel to be pregnant and wearing that tight ass suit?
hmm
She was like, oh yeah, it was fine. I did all my own motorcycle stunts. And then she was like, are you? And then she was like, are you really kidding me? Do you honestly think that I would do that?
Nice.
And some other, there's some other bunch of other, there's if you haven't had a chance, if it's on YouTube, you should find it
hmm
and watch it because and well, you probably it's entertaining. You could probably, I believe Jimmy Kimmel. You can watch replays of Jimmy Kimmel on YouTube. Not YouTube, Hulu, I think.
Probably.
So, it was. And of course, a lot of, you've also seen it. Um, but yeah, there was a bunch of like a couple of featurette videos, some clips, even movie clips, like which I like I like movie clips, especially about Age of Ultron. But the one clip that I didn't want them to post, which they did, which was like a minute and a half of the Hulk versus Hulkbuster armor fight,
Mm.
which I was like, oh, I would have loved for them to save that at least for the movie, not shown that because it'll sort of take away from some of the effect, but it was still awesome. Another one was so it was some weird scene, a scene that looks like it's gonna be from like the beginning of the movie where like they're in that snow wooded area, and basically what you see is the um like it's you see Hulk and Black Widow, and like Black Widow's like, oh well, the sun's starting to set, and then like the Hulk looks at her and she's like, they do this like we've seen it in a previous trailer, but this is like an extended. You actually get to see the scene where they move like it looks like some like weird like lover hand signal, and then
Ugh.
like and and then he proceeds to transform back to Bruce Banner. Like she
Mhm.
like this sick handshake thing, like causes him to calm down enough so he transforms back.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like I said, I shipped her with Captain America.
Mm-hmm. So, oh yeah, I just YouTube searched for Jimmy Kimmel Avengers, and his channel posted up a bunch of clips. But there's the most prominent one is this first one that came up that's looks about 25 minutes long. Looks like the majority of it, but I'm sure between all the you can see all the it's pretty good. And so yeah, see, yeah, the actress that was on Jimmy Kimmel on Tuesday night was Kobe Smulders,
Okay.
the one who plays Maria Hill.
Mhm.
So yeah, this surprise. Even though Avengers doesn't come out for another like 2 weeks. Wait, oh my God, that's 2 weeks. Oh shit,
You
2 weeks from
you just realized the magnitude of what 2 weeks means.
yeah. But anyway, it comes out in 2 weeks from Friday, and they're already like spamming YouTube with video, like interviews, clips, and TV spots.
I don't like that.
You know,
Though to be honest, I've been staying away from it in general. I just want to be mostly just surprised for most of it.
which is hard to do because it's so tempting. Yeah, King of Lightning.
What did he just do?
He posted up his live reaction at the Toriko chapter about an hour ago.
Okay. Live reaction to live reaction? No.
No,
No.
can't. Which is
No.
surprising. It's only 10.5 minutes.
Hmm. Okay.
That seems a little odd for him. Especially with what's happening, you figure he'd be like freaking out, like, ugh. Like.
You.
But to get back on track, I think that's pretty much all the important stuff that happened this week
Yeah,
in
pretty much.
in life.
Yeah, in the actual world of the good shit. I don't know.
What I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think before we sign off if there's anything else like. I know there was like like one of the gaming channels I subscribed to had like posted a couple of video discussions about the whole Super Smash Brothers fighter ballot thing,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently, one of them discussions was based on the fact now. Hold the phone, but apparently, like there was a recent update to the Smash Brothers game, and you know how people love to data mine shit to find out if there's any hidden secrets,
Mm-hmm.
and there was two like there was two things that they found in data mining that could possibly hint at like them start like in this update that they're starting to lay some groundwork for future DLC characters. So they're like, I guess, oh, we know we're gonna put them in there, so we're gonna start putting some, stuff hidden in these updates to prepare the games for receiving these for the possibility of their owners buying the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
One was a file labeled Roy, hinting at the possibility of the return of Roy.
Yeah, I've seen that before, like where games have had data for other characters and it actually never comes through. Even like again, I'm using Marvel as an example, where they had the data for Doc Ock and Cyclops, and that never came out in Ultimate Marvel.
Now, no, I understand that, but see, the thing is, with the whole thing with Roy, okay, that could be possible because he's a character that has been in the series before. However, there was a sound clip that hints at a character that has never been in the series before, let alone the game series he's from, being involved in the series at all. So it would make no sense for it to be in the game. So the fact that it's there showcases that the possibility makes it almost people like freaking the hell out that, oh my god, this character must be, or a character from the series, and most likely this particular character that they were discussing in the video might be in Super Smash Brothers. They found data mined and found some music from Street Fighter.
Oh ho!
And
which I happen to be playing right now, but
and apparently they're starting to think that they might be putting, a Street Fighter character in, with most likely being, what was I think, Ryo?
it'll be either Ryu or Chun-Li. I'll tell you right now.
Well, no, they said the two most they said either Ryu or Chun-Li, and they said for Ryu they would hope that like alternate costume, like when they do the costumes, that he'd have an alternate costume to make him look like Ken.
Yeah, Ken or Akuma would be awesome.
Yeah, and then another one for Akuma.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on the fact that Nintendo snuck some Street Fighter music into a update to Smash Brothers?
The prospect of having Ryu in Street Fighter, or Ryu from Street Fighter in Smash. I'm playing Street Fighter right now, but not playing as Ryu. But
the fact that we could have a Street Fighter character might get in to Smash Brothers.
I mean, that would still be only the second Capcom character in the game, so not that big of a deal too much. But as far as it goes, I would freaking love it. But I don't know. Like I said, Doc Ock had never been in any Marvel vs. Capcom game, and they had freaking data for him in Marvel 3, and that never came out. So.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch like one of the things they were talking about is some of the, from what they can, some of the front runners, like a lot of people are asking for like King K. Rool is a lot of people are asking for.
Okay.
Another some other ones I think. Now whether or not they'll actually get in or not, who knows? They said a bunch of people are asking for like Shovel Knight.
That's very, very low probability.
Yes, and of course they make the obvious brief 5-second mention that a lot of people are trying to vote Goku in.
Of course.
But it's not going to happen. As well as some other, they've talked about some of the ones they wanted to see, like the one guy from the channel said, oh, he would love it if they got like the Chorus Kids in from the Rhythm Heaven. Some other ones they said were like Dixie Kong. They said they would like to see Dixie Kong in there. And some various other things. It's the fact that the prospect of it'll like releasing a DLC character every couple of months to like kind of make the game feel fresh. But they feel like the general consensus they feel is that maybe at best there might be one at best maybe one more A-list character that they might add in as a DLC, and that mainly they might do like B and C tier like class characters that aren't like well they're not that important that huge.
Hmm.
Because if they feel like well if they can't put too many like A-list characters in as DLC because they got to save some for Smash 5 even though because once again even though he says he's not going to make another one they are.
Of course they are.
So they're not going to put that's why they feel like they're not going to put too many any more than one maybe two A-list new A-list characters in because they want to obviously save some for the next one. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I mean,
oh, which reminds me, didn't you get a chance to play a demo of Smash Brothers for the Wii U this week?
oh yeah, that's right. That is what I forgot to say. I knew I was forgetting something, and that was it.
So,
I'll describe my experience briefly before we sign off here.
well, how was your first of all, who did you get play? Who did you get a chance to play as?
I played as 3 characters. I played 4 games. Can you guess who I picked first?
Mega Man,
No.
Pikachu.
There was only one character I could pick first because I wanted to see how he played in this game.
Ike was in the demo.
Yeah, they had all the characters unlocked actually
Oh!
for the
I
Wii
didn't
U
realize.
for the Wii
Oh,
U version.
oh
So
yeah, because well, I wasn't sure if I didn't even know I didn't know wouldn't know. So oh yeah, Ike.
so
Okay,
I
so
played as like I won. It was funny because they were like, well, there was nobody. There was like one person around, but they weren't playing. And the default is, the CPU's on level 4. And I'm like, and I just laughed. I'm like, no. I'm like 9, and I won. So the second match I played as Link to see how he played, and I won. Third match I played as Robin. That was a little harder because I'd never played him before. Still won, but it was hard.
mm-hmm.
The only problem was I did not like the Wii U controller,
Oh, you
which
had to use the gamepad?
yeah, which the buttons are like
Two spread out.
they're switched. Like it's so weird. Like the bottom button is B, so that's your special move, and like to the right button, which would normally be B on a GameCube controller or whatever, is like it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that would be X, but which would be your jump is your attack button. So it's like it threw me off, and
Mm-hmm.
there were items on. You couldn't take them off. I'm like, really? You can't take off items?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
whatever. It's a GameStop demo.
so I played as Robin. He was pretty interesting. I kind of liked him. And then I played another game as Ike, and that was it.
Oh, what? You didn't try out Mega Man?
No, I only really wanted to play four games there. I just kind of wanted to play as Ike again. If I go
So,
back and play it again, I'll probably play as Mega Man and some of the newer characters like
so
Lomac and
anyway,
shit.
so now, how does Ike feel in comparison to Brawl?
To be honest, he's not as different as I thought he would be. He honestly didn't feel that much different to me. It was kind of odd. I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm playing Brawl, but a little different with items on and a shitty controller. I don't know.
Well, like I said, you would have to be able to play it in optimal
Yeah,
playing, which would be at home with all the time you want, and either using a Pro controller or a GameCube controller.
yeah.
So, which unfortunately you didn't get a chance to try out, Ike at the convention because they were being real dicks about it.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, not many people are gonna want to play Smash. We're only gonna set up one Smash Brothers for the Wii U, and you know, even though they had the 8 chairs up there, so you could have 8-player Smash. It was like, well, it was always filled. because I'm like, because there was just that many people who wanted to play it at the convention and weren't apparently weren't doing any of the panels.
Yeah, and the people who were playing, like, they would not get off. Like even when they lost, it was just they were just not being courteous at all. So
Which is kind of weird in a sense, because I mean, most likely the people who were playing it constantly probably have it at home. So
yeah,
it's
they
like
they
what.
probably own the games. Like really, what are you guys doing?
That's why, like, when I was, I sat there and was trying to play some of the Xenoverse to try and unlock some more shit for other people, so other people can play as other characters.
Hmm.
I like quickly even though I had like another hour before I had to go to my next panel, I think it was. I was like, I don't really feel like sitting here. Like I like because it's frustrating because like I'm used to playing at home
Hmm.
where I have the moves I've already went through. Like, see, that's one thing is that I've already went through the trials and tribulations of trying to level up my first character and try and get through the game. Now, when I can create more characters, I already have all the missions unlocked, so I can easily gain experience. I have a lot of moves unlocked, so I can it's easier to make a better move set instead of having to start out with all the shitty moves and then trying to slowly work my way up. There was just too much effort too many hours that has to be put into that game for me to have sat there and wasted my time doing
Yeah,
more to unlock it all. And of course, it didn't matter because later that day I came back
they
and
deleted it. Yeah.
they deleted it and started a new game because the person who started it played as a Majin and the other person was like, I wanted to play as a Saiyan, created character.
Hmm.
You know, like when they get these games, why can't like why is it that they can't just I don't know, get a save file of a completed game so that way they can you
Right.
know like at least for like Xenoverse especially because they could have like a save file where the guy already beat the game once. So that way, if say someone wants like okay, does it matter what the save file picked as the first race? Once you beat the game, it unlocks 7 more character slots, created character slots that you can create whatever character you want.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, that would have been great, but unfortunately they didn't do that. So we ended up having to deal with the fact that somebody had to unlock it, and no one was going to sit there and spend the many hours that it would have taken to at least unlock all the characters.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did have a save file and some idiot just deleted it.
I don't know. Who knows? You know, Surprisingly, no one tried to unlock all the characters in J Stars.
Yeah, they did more last year.
Well, last year that some there were like I think that one guy you were playing against actually was the guy who last year spent
Hmm.
time on playing it and unlocking all the characters so that way everybody else could get to play as the characters.
Yeah, that guy was trying. He didn't do it as much this year because he was like, "Fuck it." He just
Well,
kept playing Asuna. He's like, "All right, I just like
Well, see, that's
Suna."
the other thing about well, of course, that's where the main difference is. With J Stars, you could just sit there and play matches against other players and get the money, and then you buy the characters with the money.
Hmm.
So you can only get to play the story mode.
Yeah.
So he could have just sat there all day playing Asuna, friggin' against computer characters or against other people who would sit down and play against them, and could have easily unlocked all the characters in like no time flat, and then you'd be able to play as the various characters. But nope, that's just I'm just. But anyway, back to the fact that where were we talking about before?
The fact that I played the demo of
Oh yeah, there you
Smash
go.
4.
I know, but yeah. So and all right. So then, how does Link? How did Link feel?
Um, it was very difficult to play as Link because of the controller.
Mhm.
Because Link is a very, very technical character, and if you don't know what you're Well, I knew what I was doing, but if you're not used to the layout, it threw me off so much it really screwed me up. I was able to win, but it was a lot tougher
Mm-hmm.
than Ike, who it was pretty much just figuring out the control and wrecking shit with him. But
Yeah. And what now? Other than what you've already stated, is there anything else that you haven't already stated about Robin playing as Robin that you haven't already said?
um, I mean, I was using the I thought I liked how they incorporated the different magics. It was cool. I think the one I used the most was Elfire. That thing was awesome. And of
Mm-hmm.
course the wind to get up for
Elwyn.
recovery. Yeah, Elwind for recovery, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's it, honestly.
Um. Well, this week also, for those of you guys who were lucky enough to, who were financially lucky enough to have both, be able to purchase both Super Smash Bros. Wii U and Super Smash Bros. 3DS, and registered the Club Nintendo codes on your Club Nintendo account, the Mewtwo DLC came out for those guys, the free
Ah,
DLC for those guys, and my brother, little, was able to did it, so I had a chance to play as Mewtwo for the Wii U version,
cool.
and you know I sucked at him then, and I sucked at him now. No, he's good. I enjoy playing as him, but like I said, I sucked at playing as him then, and I suck as playing him now. You know, like, and the main thing I was doing was faith playing against a level 9 Lucario, and
Huh.
I played a whole ton of matches playing as Mewtwo to face Lucario, and a bunch of matches as Lucario facing Mewtwo,
Mhm.
and when you doing that, it really showcases why people were completely and utterly wrong. They are nowhere near clones. The only thing they share in common is a similar style of standard special.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
Lucario is not a clone of Mewtwo in any regard.
But the thing is, I heard that a lot of people were calling Lucario a clone of Mewtwo, and I just brushed it off because in Brawl Mewtwo wasn't there, so I played as Lucario because it was like, oh, but there's nothing other than the fact that they have a similar standard special. That's it. That's the only thing. That's where the similarities stop.
I mean, Samus has the same similar special to them, so does that make
Yeah.
her a clone of Mewtwo and Lucario? No.
No. Like, and the thing that pissed me off when I was playing against the level 9 Lucario with the friggin', as Mewtwo, was the fact that just like when I'm playing as Ike against AZX's Marth, the fact that every single time I go to attack, he's like, oh, counter, counter,
Mhm.
counter, counter. I'm like, ugh!
Yeah,
Pisses me off.
he gets annoying with that counter, and then I eventually just sit there and wait for him to do counter, and then just
And then,
charge
and
up
then
and
the worst,
attack.
and then the worst part is, I felt like I was facing against AZX because then like he would hit me into the air and I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna smash down on him. And nope, he does the same thing. He's able to keep pushing, playing as AZX calls it. He starts playing catch with me.
Mm,
I'm like, really? It's the fact that
juggling.
the fact that level 9 Lucario started playing like AZX's Marth pissed me off
Gosh.
in certain aspects, like juggling me around and then like always perfectly timing the counter with my attack.
Of course.
Like I would friggin' sidestep to dodge his attack, get behind him, and then go for a quick, C6, smash attack, and then he'd be like, nope, counter. I'd be like, fuck you.
Most likely, what they did is they employed the use of what Street Fighter does and Marvel 3 does, and when you hit a button, it automatically reacts.
It was just like annoying as all hell. I was like, ugh. And so, but yeah. But the one thing I did note is that Mewtwo's standard special, fully charged, is more powerful than Lucario's fully charged, because several times I charged up Mewtwo's full all the way, and he charged his all the way, and he launched his, and then I would counter it by launching mine. When they're not fully charged, they would cancel each other out, but when they're fully charged, mine would they would hit, and mine would just destroy his and keep going.
Cool.
So Mewtwo's is more powerful.
Nice.
But Lucario, with his aura, has honestly, overall, from what I can tell, Lucario seemingly is faster and has much better combo potential, but also at the same time, his aura because all of his attacks are laced with his utilizes his aura. It gives him a longer reach.
Just like Brawl.
Yeah. So he has a longer reach than Mewtwo. So in a head-to-head fight, Lucario has the advantage in speed and reach.
Huh.
As well as it's more power in most of the cases. Now, of course, when I was playing as Lucario against a level 9 Mewtwo, I was getting my ass kicked because, because that's, Mewtwo playing right, the right way. And Lucario's not my, I play as Ike. Ike's my guy. When I play as other people, I'm like, I'm not that good. I mean, Lucario in Brawl was one of my 3 main characters I used.
Right.
Like, the 3 characters, my 3 mains from Brawl were Ike, Lucario, and Pit. But mostly Ike. So, yeah, it was, it's not like I'm not used to playing as Lucario. It's just, since I play, but more often than not don't. I remember exactly, like, when I first got Brawl, I think my main was, like, when I first started playing, was the Pokemon Trainer. And then I started, juggling around, like, I was playing a bit as Meta Knight for a bit, and then there was Kirby, and then, Pit for a while, and then it was Lucario for the longest time, and then when me, Link, and AZX started playing a lot, AZX pointed out how good I seemed to be at playing Ike, and then I was like, oh, I'm, being the fact that I wanted to beat him, wanted to beat him, I was like, all right, if he thinks that I'm best with Ike, then I'm going to play as Ike, and maybe I'll be able to beat him. On a rare occasion, usually every time we get together and play a lot of Smash, get a chance to play a lot of Smash, sometimes I'm lucky enough, due to thankfully to the randomness of Link's play style, I can sometimes win 1 or 2, but as a result of that, Ike became my serious main, because playing against someone so skilled, so much more skilled at the game than I am, so many times as Ike, I started to, as I was learning and improving my skills at playing the game, it was with Ike, so naturally Ike became my main.
Yeah, the sad thing is you would probably be better off with Pit against Marth.
Yeah,
because
well,
Ike is awful against Marth.
Yeah,
awful.
but unless you're playing as him.
Still awful. Like, there's...
Yeah, I know. But the fact of the matter is, though, is that, well, no, like, Pit I used for a decent amount because, like, I don't know. I don't remember exactly why I was using Pit. I was just...
It's a solid character. I mean,
I think I was like... I don't know. I don't remember exactly why I liked Ike, or not like Ike. I mean Pitt. But anyway, so I think that just about does it for other media. I think we've been talking long enough.
Yeah. Before I have to cut this into 2 parts, we should end it.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed my rambling.
Hmm.
So
So yeah, guys,
like, comment, subscribe, and join the forum.
do that shit. And
So,
if you like my ramblings, which are few and far between, but when they come, they're fucking weird. Um, you can see more of them on my channel at youtube.com/WhereTigerX. And if you like reading stories, I'm writing a whole bunch right now. I'm actually on a roll, so go read Detective Shan's Yu Yu Hakusho fanfic. It takes place about 40 years after Yu Yu Hakusho Go. It's all mystic, so um, if you think New Spirit Detective, and basically his personality is like Yusuke, but with Dante from Devil May Cry, like a fusion.
fusion, ha!
So there you go. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.